I got this.
Nice.
I like that.
We're kicking off directly at 9.
Yeah. Let's get everybody's sound ready.
And let me know if you need me to turn my mic down or not. I can adjust the intensity of it.
No, he's done. Executioner, go ahead and pass me that.
That's the olden days. Olden days.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh.
Hey, don't get too blasted.
Did you guys think of the new background?
You have to be on your toes with this guy.
Like background?
Yeah, how'd you do that?
That's cool, yeah.
You actually paint that?
Yeah, it's real. Everything's real.
Nice.
We got a printer that prints the stencils for like stickers and t-shirts and whatever else you want to do.
That's huge. How the hell did you print that out?
Just prints the paper and you just take out the stuff you don't want to go and it's a heat transfer or the secret transfer.
How many pieces of paper did it take to cover that wall?
Oh no, the whole backdrop is the backdrop. Not yet, guys. Yeah, that's all just a $17 backdrop I got on Amazon.
Oh, that's nice.
There's black light underneath here.
So you put the Sanitarium stencil over it?
Yeah.
And off the hook? That's cool.
So, me and you will just carry him until the round table. Anybody else can ask questions. I got a little list. He's the expert at like Russian warfare and the whole Ukraine thing going on, the spying going on, the China spy balloons, and I'm gonna put him on the spot if he believes in UFOs and.
Yeah, let him do most of the talking.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you got him as a guest. That's what people are tuning in for.
Oh yeah. Talk about his books, a little bit about him and his books,
Cool.
what he's done. I got a little list.
Yeah, you're gonna need one with this guy. I watched a couple of his other podcasts that he's done, and he gets really granular with shit.
Yeah, well, he knows. He's seen Sanitarium, so he knows we're a little different.
He's not gonna start smoking weed with us, is he?
I don't think he'll do that. He's doing that.
I mean, he is retired, so.
He is. First time I saw him, that was years ago. Fucker looked like James Bond. He was like a fucking sports car. He had a tuxedo on. He looked like fucking James Bond. And he fucking.
Yeah, I've never heard of him before up until he told me to look him up. But he's been on a few other shows.
Oh yeah.
So what, you got Quarantemic at the end of the month?
Yeah.
Man, I love that show him and Faustino did together.
Starving.
Yeah, that was great. I don't know why they didn't make more of them.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
So my name is Willie. Leatherface.
Hey, Willie.
I've been chatting with you. We've followed each other on Instagram for a while.
Cool.
Out middle is Mauricio, Executioner. That's my tag team wrestling partner. Phil is up to your right. That's the co-host of the Sanitarium.
Hi guys. I'm sure I won't remember all your names, but I'll do my best.
This is paranormal. This is also an author and paranormal investigator, Paul Roberts.
Hey Tony.
He'll be conducting the round table. But got a couple people that come in during the second half and chat about some stuff. So, all right.
Well, thanks for inviting me. This is different, so I look forward to it.
It usually gets a lot more rowdier. You know.
By the way, did you guys know my nickname at DIA when I was an operative there?
Yeah.
You know what it was? Spooky.
No.
I did all the X-Files stuff for DIA.
Oh, we gotta talk about that then. Is there anything you don't want us talking about that you can't talk about, or?
Well, if I can't talk about it, I'll allude to that. But no, I mean, look, anything's fair game. Like I said, it's like ask me whatever. If I can answer it, I'll do my best to give you an answer based on what I know.
Okay.
Hey Tony, I used to be a 97 Bravo intelligence analyst with U.S. Army's military intelligence.
Very cool.
501st military intelligence over in Gyeongsang Barracks in Korea.
Yeah, no, I've spent a lot of time there.
Okay.
A good friend of mine was commander there when he was a colonel. Pat Hughes, General Hughes.
Oh, right on.
So yeah, I did I ran an operation off the books via the 501st years ago. So.
Oh, right on. Okay, cool.
I'm a 35 Foxtrot by nomenclature, my MOS, military case officer.
Oh, okay.
I'm nothing. I was lousy at Call of Duty. I can't even do that.
I like Call of Duty.
I used to like the old Rainbow Six, the earlier ones. I used to really be into those.
My son wants me to play that new one where DC is the what's it called? Something where you play in DC. You have all the landmarks. I think it's part of the Rainbow Series. I don't know, but it's something on Steam.
That's something Clancy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, the format, how we usually do, is I have all these little intros, little intro and sponsor thing that comes up.
Okay.
I come on with Phil, we talk for a few minutes. We talk about you, talk about anything else going on. Then we go into a quick little commercial. It's kind of hilarious. You'll get a kick out of the commercial, I'm sure. So as we get back from there, I play a little intro I made for you. It's you talking about your spy moment, about the little pin thing around the room.
The Bond moment. That actually happened in Key West during counter-drug operations, by the way.
Okay, well, we'll have to hear all about that. If you have any more Bond moments, we're going to ask you if you have any more Bond moments.
As I used to kid with Mike Pompeo, that was the only Bond moment I could come up with. It didn't involve me killing somebody in the process. So.
All right. Well, I will see everybody shortly, and we'll be live in a minute.
This is the one and only David Faustino. I think. This is the one and only David Faustino. I think you know that. AKA Bud Bundy, AKA the Grandmaster, the Grand Flasher, the Grand Bastard, the Grand Flasher, the gas passer. I think you get the point. More importantly, you are watching the Sanitarium with Leatherface. Woke up in the sanitarium, no ring, I feel like Leatherface. Run up, then I bury you. They notify us when I'm coming through. They told you lies, but we know the drive vibes. Gotta let it loose. I can't feel my face, gone. You won't see my face, gone. Feel like Leatherface, gone. Feel like Leatherface. Sanitarium. Better get up, sick, record split up. Bitch, coffee slips up. Bitch, shaving this blood. Better get up, sick, record split up. Bitch, coffee slips up.
expansion not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A signpost up ahead, your next stop, the Sanitarium, with Leatherface.
What's up, everybody? We're back. You have to excuse the little bit of technical difficulties in the beginning. Figures that would happen on the first show recurring.
Of course, the intro stops working.
Jeez, story of my life, huh? Welcome back to the Sanitarium. Let me go ahead and add Mr. Phil here, too. Boom.
What's happening, brother?
What's up, man? He picks up some pussy right away.
Yeah, I don't trust any man who doesn't love pussy.
Yeah. There shouldn't be any bundling of pussy on the Facebook flag. So it is Saturday, June 3rd. It's starting to get hot as hell back here east in North Carolina. It's about 80 degrees, humidity about 100%. Feels like 120. Instant small pass.
Heating up down here too in Florida.
Oh, that's right. You're in Florida. It's even worse.
Yeah, we're in the tropics down here.
Oh, jeez.
I said, but my girlfriend's gonna make fun of me for that one. Well, we're excited about your guest tonight. You got a former Lieutenant Colonel, intelligence officer, as you described him, a real-life James Bond.
He is a real-life James Bond. I mean, we've been following each other on Instagram for a while. And the very first, I seen him on Interviews, on the news and stuff, years back. But when I really saw him on Instagram, they're the James Bond motherfuckers. There's this dude coming out with a tuxedo. He's got a badass car. He got some hot chicks by him. I was like, man, this guy is James Bond. I don't think he don't have the English accent though, but he's definitely James Bond.
The American James Bond.
The best-selling author, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer, has a couple books that he's written. I think he's written more than a couple. The two main ones, Operation Darkheart and The Last Wine. He's gonna come on here shortly and tell us the story. And
yeah, I was doing a little reading. I heard the first 1,000 or 10,000 copies of his book, the government bought them all back and burned them because it supposedly had classified information in it. At least that's what they alleged.
Well, hopefully he just got paid for it.
Well, yeah, I mean they bought them back, but
that's technically getting shit shelved.
Right? Yeah.
But at least he got paid for it. Hello,
Exactly, and he's not in jail, so I really don't think it could have been classified information. Otherwise, he would have had a real problem legally for that. I know in the Marine Corps it was need to know basis only. So even if you had a certain level of clearance, yeah, you just loose lips sink ships.
Well, I believe he is definitely the second most dangerous person that's been here on the Sanitarium. The first one being Carol Baskin.
I wish I had been on with that one. I swear, I don't know why you didn't invite me to that one. It's yeah.
I had to talk to all the guys. I'm like, we gotta tone it down a little bit. Don't want to be mean to this guy. He was, a secret agent man, and I don't want to disappear. So.
Well, should we call him Colonel?
I don't know. What do you think, Tony? We can see you down here. We can't hear you, but nod your head up and down. Should we call you Colonel? I see a little bit of nodding. Oh yeah, but it's gonna be a good night. We got the new round table coming. Paul Dale Roberts, he is leading the round table talk from now on. Second half of the hour.
Yeah, I didn't realize Paul had an intelligence background.
He does, and if you didn't know, Tony, Paul Roberts here has a Guinness World Record for the longest disco dance. He danced for I think it was for a week nonstop or something. I don't know. Is that weird?
Wasn't he trying to win a truck or something like that?
No, I don't know. I think he was just doing it for the Guinness record. I mean, they had good drugs back then, so I'm sure I could probably do that. I could probably disco dance for a week too.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding, Paul.
Studio for 54 days.
All right, we're gonna go into our first little fun little commercial thing here. Get a good laugh. Everybody get all ready to talk here. Come back with a little segment of Tony Schaefer, a little video I made, and we'll bring the man on.
Yeah, roll that beautiful beam footage.
Let's roll.
The best lunch comes from heartland, the citizens of Uranus are bursting to give you their amazing fudge. That's right, fudge from Uranus. I'm not fudging with you. We're literally in Uranus. That's the mayor of Uranus, and you can get your fudge out the back door at UranusGeneralStore.com. And we're not fudging with you. I'm as serious as a fudging horse kick to the side of your fudging head.
I am as serious as forgetting your fudging anniversary. I'm serious as skid marks on your fudging undies.
I'm serious as fudging a pregnancy test. I'm serious as fudging the presidential election. I'm serious as fudging the bar exam.
Uranus squeezes out so many different fudges that they have a fudge for everyone. They got blueberry fudge, chocolate fudge, vanilla fudge, chocolate pecan fudge, mint chocolate fudge, cookies and cream fudge, peanut butter fudge, M&M fudge, toffee bar fudge. There's a fudge for everyone. Right now I'm making the mayor's number 2 favorite flavor of fudge. You can try some at UranusGeneralStore.com. Click now. That is some yummy fudge from Uranus. The best fudge does come from Uranus, Mr. Mayor. That's my dad. Go to UranusGeneralStore.com and order the best fudge and fudge this side of the Mississippi. And the other fudge inside, too. We can't contain it anymore. Uranus is about to explode across your screen and your front door. Ooh, fudge! Quit Prairie Dog and order the best fudging fudge ever. Hey, Mr. Prairie Dog. So if digging for fudge in Uranus isn't your thing, then bring your fingers over here. Uranus offers a lot more than fudge. They got fudge and magnets. They got fudge and halves of the hottest fudging calendars of Uranus you've ever fudging seen. That's cool. But if you ask me what the best part about Uranus is, other than the fudge in Uranus, it's the fudging shirts. Fudge not, lest ye be fudged first. Fudge, 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 fudge. Want to see more of Uranus? Come see the amazing attractions like the Verticorn Creamery and Funnel Cakery. Fudge it great. Escape Uranus escape rooms. Fudgerific. Uranus Sideshow Museum. Hot fudge. Chickaboos Buddy Bar Grill. Fudge, yeah. So quit fudging around. How many more times do I need to say fudge to get you to order some fudge and fudge? Seriously, Uranus can't hold this fudge forever, so you might as well order some fudge today, for fudge's sakes. Go to UranusGeneralStore.com and order your fudge today. Or come down here and drop some deuces yourself. Peace. Welcome to Uranus. Let's make Uranus great again. Fudge, yeah. Fudge, 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 fudge. Fudge.
One of the great operative moments in my career was when I had an asset who was a bit of a control problem in the fact that he was very concerned about the environment being bugged by people who were out to get him. I had no hope of convincing him beyond a shadow of a doubt the room was bugged by anything I could do except for one little trick which I remembered. I had a pen in my pocket, I pulled it out, and I said, "Be assured, I will make sure that we can talk securely right now." I looked down at the pen, and I simply clicked it to activate it, and then slowly, very slowly, moved around the room. 360 degrees to make sure that it was completely covered, came back around, studied the pen very carefully, clicked it again, and said, "It's okay, the room is clear, we're good to go." Thereby assuring the asset that we actually could move forward with the meeting. I was able to obtain the information, and he was none the wiser for the fact that all I had was an actual everyday pen.
Alright.
Secret agent.
So that's a pretty cool story. I mean, I want to know what kind of technology they really had. I'm sure it wasn't like Austin Powers and little command centers in the middle of cars that would pop up and they can have oil slick. And remember Spy Hunter, the video game, I'm sure.
I don't think they can really talk about what they have now. I mean, otherwise they'd be giving it all away. You know, it's
Well, maybe we'll give him to give some of it up on the Sanitarium tonight.
all right. We're bringing them on.
We bringing him on. Let me find my applause button. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer.
Hi, guys.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for being here.
It's good to be here. Thank you. And thanks for that great introduction. And the trick was appropriate by the fact that we were doing, this was back during the 90s, and it was actually in Key West, we were doing counter-drug operations. And the guy that I'm referring to in that segment was actually in fear for his life because we were trying to figure out what boats were carrying drugs. So it was dicey, and he was legitimately afraid that someone was going to get him. So it was a bit of a trick necessary to get him to give us the information we needed to go do some intercepts of some of the ships coming up through the transit zone. So it was a good op, if you will, that came out of that little trick for him. So
I'm sure you have many situations. Have you ever had any situations where you're like, oh shit, like a real oh shit moment for a special agent? That's what I like.
well, dozens. Look, I mean, I started doing this when I was still in college. When I was, if you read Chapter 2 of Dark Heart, we kind of go through some of the stuff. I was recruited early on when I was still in college into something called Key Personnel Upgrade Program, which was actually a program where they would find people they thought had potential to do things. And I was off to Germany working as an Army counterintelligence undercover guy, chasing terrorists in the mid-'80s. As a matter of fact, the first set of operations, which kind of got me on the track I ended up on, was from stuff I had to do in Germany relating to counterterrorism stuff. You guys are probably not old enough to remember, but in the mid-'80s we actually had issues with the Russians were actually the Soviets were funding terrorist acts against us, using the Libyans as a proxy, actually funding groups like the sports group Hoffman, the RAF, the Red Army faction. Those people were actually killing troops, and so my first set of operations were to go undercover in Germany to set up what we call defense source nets, to go into the different towns with German intelligence officers as our partners and set up. They called it bar coverage because you basically went to all the bars and we tried to figure out what was going on from the people who were visiting town, and we had a safe house and all that stuff. So I was still not even 20. I think I was 21 years old when I started all that stuff.
Hey, you started a little young on that one.
Yeah. It was the worst kept secret in college because I'd have to give orders to my professors. As a matter of fact, it's funny, you guys played a secret agent man. Charlie Funderburk, one of our wacky left-wing professors, was at an event, and somehow by some miracle I got into the Political Science Honor Society. How I did that I still don't understand. But we were having an event, and Charlie said, this next song is dedicated to you. And it was the worst kept secret that I was off doing things. I was talking to one of my college friends yesterday, and she was saying, well, we never really believed the rumors that you were off doing spy stuff. It's like, well, I guess now you believe after all this time. So it's kind of interesting.
It's like, hold on 1 second, I hop in the phone booth and change into my outfit.
It was a great look. I had a great. You guys paid for it. It's a great career. So I can't.
So tell us a little bit about Operation Dark Heart. You got a picture of you when you're just a little bit younger, handsome fella.
By the way, we all go. I know I have to wear a uniform, and I was meeting with some of my my military guys and gals today. We all go. Operatives all go by our first name. No matter what rank you are, we all go by first names. And it's just kind of special operations guys do it. We do it as intelligence operatives. We all go by first names. I mean, when I was meeting with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, it's Joe. So we always go by first names. So Dark Heart was. You guys mentioned the issue with them buying up the copies. They bought up the copies because the book was cleared. The book had gone through full security review, and I had a piece of paper saying you can publish it. So the moment they issued that paper, it's like, I'm good to go legally. I've done everything I had to do to make sure that it was cleared. So what happened was those folks who didn't appreciate my being a whistleblower on 9/11 issues, if you guys recall, I did the whistle on the fact we had pre-9/11 intelligence on Muhammad Atta and several other the hijackers as part of an operation called Able Danger. Those guys are always vindictive. They don't like ever being called out. And so it was that group who I basically threw under the bus during testimony in 2005, came back and went after me over the book. So after the book was cleared by the Army, it was completely vetted, ready to go out the door. Defense Intelligence Agency, my former agency, who didn't like me, that's the hearings right there, that's in front of the Senate. and they basically went to the publisher and said, "Oh my goodness, there's secret identities of people in this book." The publisher said, "It's clear. We got a piece of paper. The Army says we can print it." Oh, well, no, the Army missed it. So the publisher played the game. It's like, okay, fine. You've got 4 weeks to fix it. And so we were back. They bought up the first 10,000 copies.